thanks for joining me for today's live. Today we're going to be discussing the differences between BSEN 1276 and BSEN 14476. Today I'm doing this from home, so that's my clock in the background. We'll just need to wait for it to finish chiming. But while the clock is chiming away, could everybody please spread all this free expertise and all this free content that I am giving out to you all, so that everyone can benefit from what I'm going to say today. So if you could please this video, then that would be very, very well received. Thank you so much. So today we're going to be talking about the differences between BSEN 1276 and BSEN 14476. So this terminology rolls off my tongue every day on a daily basis, and I think what as an industry we need to make sure is happening is that you as the consumer actually know what these terms mean, what these terms with the bottles when they've got these on them, what it actually means. So I'm going to try and bring some life and breathe some life into that for you today. So BSEN 1276 is an industry standard, so it's a British standard, and you'll find this standard on plugs, anything that's manufactured in the UK. So if you take a UK plug and turn it over, you'll see a BSEN and then it'll have a number. So it's British standard, so it's got a badge on it that means that it meets the standard to be sold in the UK and it's safe. So the same kind of principle applies here for BSEN 1276. BSEN 1276 is about bacteria killing, so it's about killing bacteria, and specifically, and I think what is not put across in hard enough terms is the specifics of these kind of accreditations. So specifically, BSEN 1276 means killing bacteria on a hard surface, and specifically to pass this BSEN test or BSEN accreditation, the bacteria kill rate or the log reduction of the presence of bacteria must be 99.999, and that's important. So we've got BSEN 1276, which is killing bacteria on a hard surface. Now, as an industry, the REACH regulations came out a few years ago, and REACH regulations it's a European directive where it makes it harder for manufacturers to advertise that the product does something that it doesn't do. So on the back of REACH regulations, manufacturers are now manipulating language to make you, the consumer, believe that it does a certain thing when it doesn't in fact. So they're more giving the impression, and I'm going to give you some examples of that as we kind of go through this live and kind of bring that to life. So, and as an industry standard, I have regular conversations with people in hospitality and even in our local environmental health, where they are talking about, you know, they're looking for a BSEN 1276 product that will sanitize dishes. So that is impossible because BSEN standard specifically is on a hard surface. It's not in water, so there's no such product. But trying to get people to understand that, industry standards, hoteliers, environmental health, it takes a conversation with myself where, and often I've got to put them in touch with the microbiologists that have devised these chemicals so that they understand, you know, why you can't get a BSEN 1276 detergent in water. So that's BSEN 1276 bacteria kill rate. That one's been around for a long time, and that's one that I would have spoken about 2 or 3 years ago, you know, quite fluently. We now have BSEN 14476 that has been around for a while, but it's kind of been put under the spotlight because obviously it's virucidal. So BSEN 14476 products with that badge on it, that means that the ingredients within that product, it has got antiviral ingredients, and it also means that it's got a badge on it that it kills 99.99939 after the point of viruses, and it'll kill polio virus, influenza A, and those sorts of viruses, so the more nasty ones. what a lot of these kind of chemicals are saying is that they kill coronavirus, and I'm going to come on to that as to why coronavirus isn't really an appropriate term to be describing anything with, because it means so much. So coronavirus, so that's the differences. So we've got BSEM 1276, which is a 99.99 kill rate, 999 kill rate on a hard surface for bacteria. Doesn't do anything about viruses. Then we've got BSEN 14476, which is a 99.999 log reduction in specific viruses. So if you have a chemical that has either BSEN 1276 or BSEN 14476, or best of all, one that's got both of them, that chemical has been really well researched. The manufacturers have developed it, and they've spent money in terms of getting it accredited. These accreditations don't come cheap, they're not free, and the manufacturer has to pay for them to be put through this accreditation. So it's really key that you have got a chemical that is BSEN 14476 and BSEN 1276, specifically if you're running a business, you have customers coming in, you're a hotelier, you're a bar owner. So these sorts of areas, bed and breakfast, these sorts of areas are really key, because it's your responsibility as a business owner to make sure that your staff are safe, that your customers are safe, that people coming in over your threshold are safe, and that you are actually helping to control reduction in viruses and bacteria on your premises. So that's kind of the difference, and that's really, really key in terms of making sure that you understand what that is. So that's that. What I would also like to touch on is the way that manufacturers are manipulating the language. And this is really quite interesting to me, because I think it's so important that you, as the end user, you who are going through the supermarket, believing that you're buying something which is going to help to keep you and your family safe, you need to know this. It's really important that you know this. So if you go into the bleach aisle, or if you go into the cleaning aisle in the supermarket, and you have a look at all the bottles, there's loads of bottles out there that say kills 99.99% of bacteria and viruses. So 99.99 is a fail. So it's failed BSEN 1276, it's failed BSEN 14476. But even more interestingly, you never get your lab results back and it says, yeah, it's failed, but it's killing 99.99. That just doesn't happen. It just says you failed. So it says, in more complex languages, that you failed, and that you basically need to redevelop it and put it through the test again. But these tests cost money. So once a manufacturer has put a chemical through the test, they can say things like being tested against 1276 and being tested against 14476. But what they don't say is, yeah, we failed it. So 99.99 is a fail, and that's categorical fact. It's a fact. It's not debatable, it's fact. So anybody who's saying that it kills 99.99% of bacteria, they failed the test. They've either not put it through the test, they've put it through the test, they've failed the test. So it's a fail. So, and the amount of domestic chemicals out there that say 99.99, so Dettol, I spoke about that on my last Facebook Live last week, and all of the kind of murky language that they use, and I've got a great example. So if you go to our website to have a look at this week's blog, which is breaking down knowledge barriers, and what we'll do after this video is our tech guys will put it in a format that we can upload it, and we'll upload it beside the blog, so you can either watch the video or read the blog. The blog is talking about, so I've given a specific example, and I've actually lifted up an image from a big manufacturer's website. This is a big manufacturer. It's one that we used to use several years ago, before the REACH regulations came out, because that really tightened everything up. And I was able then to say, well, does this product do what it says it can do? Is this a bactericidal? Has it got 1276? And they weren't able to turn around to me and kind of manipulate me, because my knowledge was getting so refined in terms of all of the guidance that the REACH regulations gave me. So yeah, it's a big manufacturer, it's huge, they've got a lot of professional chemicals, so it's probably not one that you'll be familiar with specifically. I'm just bringing it up. And they're talking that they're really manipulating the language here. So I just want to use this as an example. So within my blog, to protect ourselves and to protect this manufacturer, I have kind of blacked out some, I've redacted some bits so that you can't tell who it is. So this product has been independently tested to BSEN 14476, and its powerful formulation kills a range of pathogenic viruses, including coronavirus, in under 5 minutes. Okay, so it's been tested against BSEN 14476, but later on in the advert it says kills 99.99% of germs and viruses. So yes, it's been tested against BSEN 14476, but it's not passed it, so it's failed it. But they've paid for the test, so they might as well put it in their advert. Okay, fine. It also says it's been tested to BSEN 1276, and it kills 99.99% of germs. So again, it's failed, the BSEN 1276. So they are then manipulating the language. So yes, it has been tested to, but it's not passed it. And they're just kind of starting the sentence and they're not finishing it. So they're not kind of giving you any clarity. But they're relying on your ignorance, and they're relying on people like me not coming on and telling you that this is a dupe as far as I'm concerned. It really infuriates me, because I think at Astral Hygiene we sell things transparently. We will give you good advice for any specific situation and specific virus or specific bacteria, and we'll give you honest, candid advice. And that's one of the things that we are really proud of, because we trade on our transparency. This isn't transparent. This doesn't feel right to me. So that's why I'm on telling you about this. So it kills coronavirus, okay, in under 5 minutes. So coronavirus, just to be clear, is an umbrella term that basically means, and I spoke about it on last week's vlog about Dettol, that it kills coronavirus, but coronavirus can encompass cold, flu, SARS, COVID-19, whatever it is that we're calling it. So it can't. So yes, it can kill coronavirus, but if it's killing coronavirus, it just needs to kill one of those things. So let's kill the cold, which is easy to kill, and then we'll say it kills coronavirus. So coronavirus, I don't think is the right kind of term to be using to describe SARS-CoV-2, because that's what we're dealing with here. That's why we're all still in lockdown, and we're still, holed up in our houses with nothing to do because of this virus. So I think that manufacturers need to be clear about what it is that they're doing to help us to get out of lockdown as soon as possible. So it says on under 5 minutes, so 5 minutes. So I am going to trust this advert. I'm going to go and buy this product. I'm going to spray it on my surface for it to not work. It's not going to kill viruses. It's not going to kill bacteria, and I'm going to waste 5 minutes waiting for it to not work. 5 minutes contact time. So here at Astral, we don't really stock anything that's 5 minute contact time because it's not practical. So who has got 5 minutes in a commercial kitchen? Do you have 5 minutes? I've been preparing this kind of food here. Somebody's walked in, somebody's walked out. I need to sanitize this area here. Do I have 5 minutes to spray it on, stand about, pass the time of day while checks are coming on for food or whatever? No, you don't have that time. So 30-second contact time for any kind of 1276 product is standard, the kind of stuff that we would stock at Astral, and it's standard for 14476. Those chemicals that we do have that that are killing COVID-19 or SARS-CoV-2, they are 5 minute contact time. So what we would say is you would kind of do them at the start of the shift and at the end of the shift to kind of make sure that you are doing as much due diligence as you can whilst looking after the practicalities of your business, which is getting checks in, getting people fed, and getting them to pay when they're on their way out, so you're making money. So 5-minute contact time, as far as we're concerned, it's not correct. So, and what I would also like to say is that BSEN 14476, which is the virus one, the one that kills viruses, that kills polio virus. It also kills influenza A, and it kills adenovirus. Now, BSEN 14476, for clarity and for transparency, does not kill SARS-CoV-2. It may kill SARS-CoV-2, and there's a new test that's coming out. Obviously, SARS-CoV-2 is a really new virus, and you know, the virus, obviously, as we were developing vaccines and, you know, getting all of that sort of stuff developed and rolled out, then it was those laboratories that got priority to receive the virus. So it was really difficult for manufacturers to test against a virus that they haven't received it in its pure form, and it needs to be in a very specific state for them to be able to test against it. Now that we're kind of through it, the vaccines are starting to be rolled out, and it kind of feels like we're almost at the end of it. The virus is being released to manufacturers so that they can then gear up their chemical to be tested against SARS-CoV-2. So that is happening. It's not going to happen overnight. I don't think it is a sensible thing for me to stand here and say you can only use a chemical that's tested against SARS-CoV-2, because at the moment they are very, very limited. But what I would say is to keep yourself safe. Use BSEN 1276 and BSEN 14476. Make sure that the places that you're going to is using those sorts of chemicals as well. Not ones that have been tested against, ones that have passed it. Would actually be very useful for you. So, but what I would also like to say is that here at Astral, we trade on our transparency, we trade on our reputation, we trade on, you know, our ability to be honest and upfront, and we're well informed. So if you are looking for any information, if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments and I'll pick up on them later. If you have any questions that you want to say to me just now, I will respond to them live if you want. We also have on our website, just for kind of clarity, we've got 2 sections. So we've got a BSEN 14476 section. And I think the reason I want to mention this is because all of our products that have been tested against and have passed are on that website in that section 14476. But what we've also done is we've also written some frequently asked questions, so that if you're not sure whether you need a 14476 product or a 1276 product, they'll be answered within the frequently asked questions. We also have on our website a BSEN 1276 section, which is much bigger, because that was kind of what everybody was concerned about, you know, 2-3 years ago. Again, it has a frequently asked questions section. So if you know you can't get me, or you can't, I'm not responding to your Facebook question quickly enough, you should find the answer to any question that you have in the frequently asked questions on either the BSEN 1276 section or the BSEN 14476 section, which is under our chemicals section. Have a read of the blog. Any questions, you know where to get me. Thanks so much. Bye.